Hey everyone, before I show you the C8 video, I just want to tell you one thing. This is not an ad. We did the C8 as part of the Road and Track Performance Car of the Year test. The big written piece with the beautiful photography, that's the most important thing, and I contributed to that as well, and I look forward to seeing that. This C8, it's a very important car, and a lot of you are going to put weight behind what I have to say about it from this video. This video, other than the little 2-lap just noise video that I made before, this is the first time I drove the car, okay? Those laps plus these laps, first time I drove the car. And I just want to say that my thoughts in this drive evolved further as I drove the car more throughout the week on the road. So I want you to watch this video, enjoy this video, believe what you're hearing me say, and then I want to explain some things a little further at the back end of this video. So if you want to stick around for a little more thorough explanation of my thoughts on the C8, stick around at the end and I'll give you some more. Yo, what up everybody? Welcome to Thunderhill Raceway West. That's the smaller of the two courses here at Thunderhill in Northern California. I'm so excited. I'm here for Performance Car of the Year for Road and Track. We got a bunch of cool cars to drive, but frankly, this show, it's the Vette and everything else. It's the new Vette. This is it. I'm in it. I'm driving it. This is a very early pre-production build. Okay, so we're not going to judge build quality materials yet. What we're here to do is drive it on a racetrack and tell you how it drives, show you how it sounds. And I can tell you just right now, sitting in it, the seats are really comfortable. I'm on the larger side of what will fit in this seat, but it's comfortable. I'm sitting in the right position. My head isn't crunched in the ceiling, even with a helmet on. The roof comes off. It's a car meant for tall people. The cockpit is very driver-oriented. Everything comes towards the driver. I love how close the touchscreen is and how it's angled to me. I like the feel of the buttons a lot. I don't want to dwell on that kind of stuff because, again, not final production. Importantly, things to know. The new Vette, this one has the 3LT and the Z51 package. So this is pretty much the nicest, best performing, quote, regular C8 you're going to get. It's got a 495 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, LT2 small block dry sump V8 in the back. Okay, the sound will be familiar to you. It has a new dual clutch gearbox built by Tremec. It has with 8 speeds. A first for Corvette. This is going to be a big deal for us. Double wishbone suspension, front and rear with magnetic ride. We're combining the best shock system with the best suspension geometries in this car, so it should handle and ride really well. It has electric power steering, 13.5-inch Brembo brakes, 4-piston front and rear. While they haven't given us a curb weight yet, the dry weight is 33 something, so it's going to be like 35. Let's go for a drive. Manual mode. I'm in track. The traction control is fully disabled. Now, there aren't, frankly, a lot of cars you can buy with a naturally aspirated mid-engine configuration. There just aren't many left, if any. So, could Corvette be the one to carry that torch? Smooth upshifts immediately. Whoa, holy grip at the front end, Batman. 6,000 RPM red line, getting a point by. Does that sound familiar to anybody? It sure is to me. The front end grip. Whoa. The steering ratio, they say, is the same as the C7, but moving the cockpit forward, I could swear it's more direct. Hello, NSX and Ferrari, we are coming for you. Great throttle response, great linear power delivery. I wish that red line came up a little. There we go. Do riff do, no problemo. It's going to get very light over here. Whoa! Oh, I like this. You're definitely getting rotation on the entry, which is great. Oh, little understeer there. I tried to sort of carry that one through. I got some understeer on the neutral pedal. It's fast, but it's not in a straight line. It's not like, oh, you know, it doesn't have the crazy turbo shove. It's got a great, beautifully balanced power band. And then where the real shocker happens is right here. At the end of a long sweeper, where that front end is still gripping, that's when you go, oh my God, that's amazing. Beautiful through the S's. Good strong brakes. They're only 4-piston, but we don't need more. I love the turn in. It's really sharp. You know, the engine sounds, because that exhaust isn't running underneath the cabin anymore, it's almost like when they put a big 351 Cleveland in the Di Tommaso Pantera. Somehow, that same engine becomes more refined. Nice little balance if you get some oversteer. What a car! Oh my God, I can't believe it's so good. I mean, it smells like a Corvette in here, straight up. I love the slide. Yeah, so here, third gear, 45 miles an hour, that's where we're getting understeer. If you want to slide it, you either need to enter that corner hot and transfer the weight, or you need to get on that throttle early and then manage the slide. Oh my God, you guys are gonna love this thing. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is what you get for 85 Gs. It's unbelievable. Downshifts are pretty good unless you don't have enough revs, and then it just sort of doesn't give you the gear. I wish it gave you a little leeway, you know, like not that it should over rev itself, but I wish it gave you leeway in terms of waiting for those RPMs to come down because you're braking and, you know, it knows. I wish that. But listen, still the best gearbox ever in a GM car. Third gear slide, 3,500 RPM, plenty of torque. Very good. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so good. Whoa! I can't believe it's so good. No, these guys smashed it. They smashed it. Now look, this is a beautifully balanced driver's car. Beautiful. See how much room is there too in the engine bay? Like, dude, there's so much room in the engine bay for superchargers. They're gonna be able to throw an extra 200 horse at this thing, and it's going to be a psycho death missile. Oh my God, but even right now, like the shock tuning and the ride is so good. I mean, honestly, it's super close to what I would expect from like a 458 or something, but with a small block in the back. Like, what? That's just... Whoa! All right. I'm gonna cool her down now because we're going back in, but oh my God, are you kidding me, folks? It's amazing. I mean, it is amazing. Wow. That is, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's solid, it's planted. It's got amazingly sharp steering. It feels like I'm really right over the axle. It's got It's got great power, but just as much brakes as it has power. Jesus. I mean, if this is what you get, apparently this is what you get for $85,000. That's unbelievable. I mean, it's got some Corvette in it. And again, I don't want to dwell on the there's some cheap plastic here and there, but like, oh my God, that is a driving experience that is not to be missed by fans of cars. I mean, simply extraordinary. Simply extraordinary. Bravo. I'm blown away. Extremely impressed. Thank you to Road and Track for letting me do this. Thank you to you for letting me do this. And thank you to GM's babysitters over there for letting me do this. Woo! All right. I hope you liked that video. I was obviously having a very good time while making it. To experience that car for the first time on track, meaning full throttle, red line shifting. Yes, that was red line. I think I might have said 6,000 RPM in the video. The red line is 6,800, which is the lowest revving mid-engine car you can buy. So we can start with that, right? The LS or LT now engine is very effective. It has a wide power band. It's very usable. You can be very liberal with the pedal, and you don't get that, like you get with the big turbo cars, right? But it revs low. It's, I think, still the lowest revving mid-engine car that you can buy. The Evora GT was 7,000, so it's higher. And it felt it, actually, the way it sounded. Now that we've got this mid-engine chassis, the car is begging for a dual overhead cam type engine that will rev much higher. What we've seen in the C8 race car is promising, okay? But it is fast, okay? It is fast, but it doesn't feel like crazy fast, but I think that's just because I'm spoiled with other stuff and because it is so linear, okay? Now, the styling and the cockpit. It was very comfortable. The square steering wheel I still don't love, but when your hands are on it, the ratio is quick enough that you don't have to go hand over hand a lot, and so it's not that bad. When you look at Porsche or Ferrari or even Lamborghini, they have sort of a mellow confidence about how they do an interior. Even if it's aggressively styled, it's got this sort of we've done this before feeling. The Corvette really, when I first got it on the track and I was like, ooh, everything canted towards the driver, this is great. As I drove it on the road, and more importantly, as I was a passenger in it on the road once, there's a big wall and it kind of blocks off the whole passenger. And so, the 911 has, again, this sort of quiet, chilled confidence about how it goes about the business of interiors. It's fairly simple, and it kind of throws back to the past a little bit while being modernized, and it's just screwed together impeccably. The Corvette is like mid-engine, fighter plane, cockpit, highway to the danger zone. It's such a Detroit hairband mid-engine car. I said Pantera in the video, and it really, the more I think about it, it's very Pantera. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I found myself in the middle by the end, whereas I was very excited at the beginning. In the video, I said this Corvette was a hand-built prototype. That actually turned out not to be the case. They said it was built at the factory on the line, and it was VIN number 19, so that's just to clear that one up a bit. On the racetrack, the value is definitely there. Hi, Finn. Do you want to come up? Come on. On the racetrack, the value is definitely there. It's fast, it's balanced, it's a lot of fun, it's direct, you can romp on it, it takes a beating, it doesn't get hot. It was nice. And when you're threshold braking and red line shifting, it does that very smoothly. When I went out on the street and was doing more partial throttle shifting, it was clear that the gearbox is not in a final state of tune, and for cruising, for parking lots, and for partial throttle, they do need to work on the smoothness a little bit, although I was impressed with the smoothness and the response on track, except, like I said, if you hit red line, it kind of died, and it didn't give you an indicator of what really happened, and that can be confusing. And because the red line is so low, it was easy to hit red line. On track, the steering felt very direct, and you could hear the vibration in the video when it would get some push. It would go, And so that was telling me what was happening. But when I was driving it on the road and I was within the limits of grip, not over them, the steering felt a little artificial and video gamey. It was still very direct and it was still very effective, but it wasn't as communicative as the Lotus and the 911 and the McLaren, which I was driving, back to back. Probably not a deal breaker. It's better than like BMW/Supra is doing right now. It's good, but it's a little artificial still. The ride quality on the street, I think, is best in class. I think it's the best riding mid-engine car you can buy that isn't a McLaren 720. The ride on everybody at Road and Track, was blown away with the ride on the street. That was really, and that translated to good on-track mannerisms as well. The suspension was really nicely dialed in. The interior, I love the seat. It was the competition bucket seat or whatever they call it, the top seat. It was comfortable. It held me in. The steering wheel and shifter and the A touch points, the materials were excellent. The B touch points, the materials were okay, on par with the outgoing Corvette. And the C touch points, meaning the kick panels, the lower part of the dash, was cheap, hard plastic. And so when you compare that to the other cars we had at Peabody, the Lotus, the 911, etc., there was some visible cheapening, both on the exterior and the interior of the car. Putting the engine in the middle does not make 1 + 1 = 3. It's still, like I said at the end of the video, it's still a Corvette, and I mean that in a lot of ways. It's built as well as you would expect a Corvette to be built. It's got a small block. It sounds Corvette-y. And a lot of the things that you would expect from a Detroit automaker are present. Having said that, for GM's first mid-engine effort, it is very, very, very good. They have done an excellent job. It feels like it has more chassis than engine, which is a great place to be for a mid-engine car. I can tell you I probably don't really want to be driving the $60,000 one. I mean, now that I've driven a Z51 car, I don't want to drive one that's worse. I mean, I kind of do because I want to see what people really are getting for 60, but I don't think a lot of the members of the media are going to be driving the $60,000 one anytime soon. Overall, I was really impressed with the car. But as you can see in this little supplement, I didn't remain as giddy. A lot driving a car on a racetrack, a brand new car, the brand new mid-engine Corvette, $1 million prototype, and I'm sliding it on a racetrack. Yeah, okay, a little giddy. Did I have a great time doing that? I absolutely did. But on reflection, here's what we're doing. On reflection and on discussion with Sam Smith and Jason Camisa, Travis Mikulski, and all these guys that are great drivers and great automotive analysts, I think a little bit of the luster wore off after it became just a normal car and not, oh my God, this new thing. And it's still a Corvette in a lot of ways. And in other ways, it is a massive leap forward, and it is probably, for better or worse, the most important car of the year. So, thank you for sticking around to this little supplement. I hope, if nothing else, if you have, that it explains a little bit about why, when I have the opportunity, I like to drive cars for as long as possible. I like to drive a car for a week and then make a video on the last day. But this being my first performance car of the year, I had to do a lot. I didn't have much time. I had to share a lot of the cars and the resources, and so you got a first drive, and now you get some later thoughts. So thank you for watching, and I'm sure there was going to be a lot more C8 content as regular press cars come out, probably in the beginning of next year, depending on when the strike is over. So thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.